We're spending more than ever.
I hate my job.
The price of everything has gone up.
AI is threatening my job.
It's crisis after crisis.
Nothing is working out.
I can't find a job.
We're one disaster away.
Take control of change.
I need a change.
Disruption is the force of change. Stop the chaos. Stop the madness. Take control. Read James Patterson's Disrupt Everything and Win.
If you're shopping while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast, then you know and love the thrill of a deal. But are you getting the deal and cash back? Rakuten shoppers do. They get the brands they love, savings, and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Target, Sephora, and even Expedia. Stack sales on top of cash back and feel what it's like to know you're maximizing the savings. It's easy to use, and you get your cash back sent to you through PayPal or check. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back. Download the free Rakuten app or go to Rakuten.com to start saving today. It's the most rewarding way to shop. That's Rakuten, Rakuten.com.
Yeah, here we go. How to use Google Advanced Search like a pro, like a professional. And we are going to use this time to really go a little deeper into the search base analysis, and we're going to definitely talk about something that you can do today, and you can start using it for your business, you can start using it for yourself, and more importantly, you can start using it for business operations. So this is a time that we will be having a great discussion about this. Actually, I didn't even realize this, but there's something in the replays. It says, if enabled, people can listen after the room has ended, but also share 30-second clips during the live room. That is new. I didn't even know that existed. So that's a good thing. I just wanted to let you guys know that you can clip that and you learn as well. Welcome, Vanita, America's Supermom, Makoto, Rahul, Mohammed, Chef, and Michael. Thanks for being here. If you guys are available to speak, please come up and join me. Stay connected. We can talk so that you're not only in the audience, but we'd love to have you here as well on the stage. It's a Friday. It's a blessed day. And I'm so grateful for life. And I'm grateful that we are together. Hey, America Supermom. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm driving. I'm actually headed to an event in the next few minutes. But I overheard you say something about sharing clips or something. So explain to me what that was again.
Yeah, I was trying to put the link at the top of the room. And as I was putting the link, I scrolled, like if you go to live details, because you're a mod now, if you click on the top three, I know you're driving, but when you click on the top three dots and you're able to look at the replays where it says allow replays, right underneath it has a little section that says, if enabled, people can listen after room has ended, but also share 30-second clips during the live room. So that was actually quite interesting to see because I haven't seen that myself. So I'm trying to still get that. What do you think? Is this something that you've tried, you've looked at?
Had no idea. So is this when you set the room up, or you can enable this during the room once it's already open and live?
From what I'm seeing, it looks like it's once it's already live. Like it's already live right now and people can share it live in as they're listening. So I'm still trying to understand the concept. Maybe I have to be in the audience to see that, but some people can now share 30-second clips of the room while it's going on. But I don't know if it's to the hallway or if it's to their bubbles, so I'm going to figure it out soon.
I love that because, I miss the clips. That was one of my favorite things about being able to promote different rooms, because the clips had all the marketing, graphics, and everything connected with the clip. So when you clicked on it, it told you the room and, the person was highlighted. I just thought it was phenomenal marketing. So I'm glad that they've got that. It's just trying to figure out how to have access to doing it.
Exactly. And for some reason, I don't know why they took it away because nobody said it should go. I don't know why, maybe someone, I don't know. I really can't guess that one. It's a big assumption, but the clips was amazing and I'm glad it's back. So we'll have to figure it out as well and see. But this is so good. Thanks for being here. Hello, P. Good morning. Welcome to the room. How are you?
Good
How's your day
morning.
going?
I'm glad to be here. This is the subject that overwhelms me, so glad to listen in and learn.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. No, I'm so glad you're here because, I want it to be, very, interesting, innovative, and also a good way for us to use Google, advanced search better. And just to give you all some context, just to know where all these, topics are coming from, because it's a masterclass and I want to help you, really see it long-term, wide view. I got these titles when I was coming back to Houston. I was airborne and I was reading a book. I was reading this book, Sell Like Crazy by Sabri Subi. And as I was reading this book, of course, everyone reads in and reads away. But I was reading, writing, jotting down, thinking, processing, and just planning. So this title you see here is a result of what happened on the plane because I wrote over 52 titles, content ideas for 2024, 2025. And I have some strategies to go behind those titles, not just, I have topics, but I want to use these topics to go a little bit beyond the surface. So using Clubhouse, I would say as a litmus test to really connect to people socially is the best way to start. And then take it outside the platform and let other people learn how to use it. So I wanted to bring this insight because most of us haven't heard of Google Advanced Search, even though it's literally available to all. It's free, but not everyone uses it every day. So if you have used Google Advanced Search, put a 1 in the chat. And if you haven't, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to have a differentiation because some people may have used it before. Some people may have never known what it is. Welcome to the room, Pleasant. I see you joining Clubhouse for the first time. So I just wanted to give you your flowers. Welcome to Clubhouse. When I see party hats, I know that this app is people are still joining. So it's not like the app is gone. People are still coming in. So yeah, please put in the chat. Let me see. There are a lot of people in here. So I would like to see more 1s or 2s in there. ICP has a 2. If you have used Google Advanced Search, put a 1. If you have not, put a 2 in the chat. I would just like to see that because it also gives me insight to know what you guys are looking out for. Because I'm going to put the link and give you guys a link. But if you guys haven't heard of it, I want to share it with you. If you have, then I also want to hear from you as well. Okay, so we have a 1 and a 2. This is perfect. America's Supermom, tell me how you've used it, and then I'll come to you, P, so that maybe she can hear like your own version and your experience.
Okay, I must have put the wrong number. I thought it was 1 if you have not used it. I have not used it.
Oh, okay. So 1 if you've used it, 2 if you've not. Okay, so you've not used it either. Okay. All right. So
I am not alone. Yay! But sharing my stupid here on Clubhouse is how I have learned so very much. So I am unafraid.
I love that. We're always learning. And there's always room for improvement. There's always room for learning. So I really want us to use this, fully. I see you too, Laura. Laura just left the room, but she has a party hat. So I'm seeing you guys all in the room. And I know it's early. For some people, it's an international app. So everyone is everywhere. But I want to make sure that by the time you're leaving the room today, you're learning how to use this platform. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, but before I do, I just want to, bring your attention to the link above my head. This is a Work Smart Masterclass that is going to be a paid masterclass. So what you're going to experience here is like the free version. You're not really going to see anything. But in this paid masterclass, you're going to see everything and have it replay to have access to forever. And that replay is going to involve and include how we were able to use 7 different tools that are AI based and also traditional based. How do we create a system that allows an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a business owner, a creative, somebody that just wants to show up online ethically? We have some tools to share with you, and I'm going to show you how all of them work together. Like, it's going to look like a roadmap, and there are 7 of them. So the link is above. It's $47. That's the investment, and we're closing up on the capacity. We have about 7 people in there already. So if you want to be part of this, please join and don't miss out, because once we hit a number, once we hit that double-digit number, it's going to close up. So we want to make sure that you're also available to be there, so you can learn something new, take something back. And the whole idea, the mantra for this workshop is spending 90 minutes and saving 90 days of research. So we're going to give you something with a 90-minute framework that you can use for the next 90 days plus, without you having to go and do research about what you would have thought about doing. So this is what I'm giving you right now. It's going to be a free tool. Everybody can use it and everyone has access to it, but it's how you use a tool that determines how you progress in life or how you progress as a business. So today I want us to look into Google Advanced Search. So Google Advanced Search and how you can go there. Everybody, if you're on your phone, if you're a laptop, just if you listen to this replay, just follow me as I go. So go to google.com. When you go to google.com, right, you'll see that I just want to give you like some quick insights before I go any further. When you look at google.com, and I think they did it in a very smart way. When you look at Google, you don't see the advanced section. You might see it. I mean, it's kind of like it's like hiding in a way. It's hiding. I'll tell you where it's hiding. So I'm going to give you guys some really cool clues. And I know most of us don't use Google to that extent, because think about it, right? Google is a website. Google.com is a website. So before you even hit or anything inside that search box, look around it. On the top left, you'll see About and Store. On the top right, you're going to see Gmail, Images. You'll have Search Labs now because we have Search Experiments. You'll see those 9 dots where you can get all your Google products and the apps, and then you'll see your sign in or your Google account information. That's like Google's heading. If you look at Google as a website without looking at it as a search engine, Google's header has 5 tabs, 4 text tabs and 3 icon tabs, right? 2 to the far left, and then the other 5 towards the far right. Right. And this is all on google.com. So you guys can all see this. And I've never explained Google like this, but I want to make it very simple. Right. So when you look at the footer of google.com, right, I want you guys to see Google, look at Google differently. When you look at google.com on the bottom, right, the bottom has a gray section. Like when you think about a footer of a website, usually the footer has another color or another shade. Sometimes it may be the same color, but more often than not, people will want to distinguish the body from the head from the footer, right? So on the footer, you can see that it's a little grayed out. So on the bottom left, you'll see advertising. Then you're going to see business. Then you're going to see how search works. A lot of people don't even know how to use that. It's a very great tool to use, right? When you look at that section, how search works, click on that in the footer, and then it will tell you how Google finds searches, just how does it work? What's the flow? The key elements of search are organizing information, ranking results, rigorous testing, and detecting spam. That's like the top 4 key elemental structure of google.com. They tell you all those things. So you can search through time, you can dive into their history, you can learn all these things and build your business from scratch, right? Just by focusing on that. There's another topic I have ready for you guys about how to use a search box on Google, because a lot of us can search, but I want you to learn how to search in an advanced way using the box. But today I'm not going to talk about the box. I'm going to talk about the other box, which is in the advanced search. So the footer has advertising, it has business, it has how search works. And then right at the bottom, right, like far down the middle, if you look at the bottom, it says our third decade of climate action. Join us. So now, if you look at that climate action, right, they're talking about sustainability. That's sustainability.google.com. So, how to be more sustainable while commuting, while on a road trip. When you think about these things, right, Google is a Google search engine. It's a search engine, period. But when you look at what Google is doing for the world, it's beyond the box. We know that, right? Immersive view is coming. Google has, they've had their keynote before. If you've seen their, their Google I/O keynote, you'll see all those things on YouTube, right? Google right now is focusing heavily on, of course, sustainability. And they even said through our products, we aim to empower individuals, cities, and partners to collectively reduce 1 gigaton of their carbon equivalent emissions annually by 2030. 2030 is not far anymore. We used to say 2030 used to be like that thing in the infinity and beyond. Right now, it's close. We're closer to 2030 than we are to 2000, right? So we're so far in, and we can really look at this from a deep perspective. I just don't want you to know how to search. There has to be a way to find this search and use this search extensively, right? So this is something that I want you to look at from the beginning, and then also ask yourself, okay, where are we going from there? America's Supermom said, made it to her destination. We listened to replay. Thank you so much for listening to replay, and thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you. Having every person on Google is a good thing, right? But what's more important is how do you show up and where do you show up, right? So we're going to hit this really, really quickly. Now, when you look at the footer of Google, right? I've talked about the top, the header, and I've also talked about the footer. Now, on the bottom right of Google, I'm sure probably you guys have never seen this, or you have, but you ignored it, or maybe you didn't even realize what was going on. Now, the bottom right of Google footer, google.com, we're on google.com. On the footer, towards the bottom right, you're going to see privacy, terms, and settings. Now, when you click on settings, that is where you're going to see advanced search. That is the key. So when you get to the settings, bottom right of Google, you'll see settings. Click advanced search. When you click advanced search, you're going to see something that probably you've never seen before. And we're going to do we're going to use a case study here. So we're going to, role play. I don't want to pick it for you. I want you guys to tell me. So if you're listening, you're active, you're here in the chat, please put for me in the chat. If you're in the chat, please put for me 2 words that you'd want to see yourself ranking on Google for, not just for word's sake, but because you're a brand and if someone's searching for something specific, you're the person of authority that they're going to connect to. So just put it in the chat for me so we can see. Put it in the chat. Let us see. I'm going to give you guys some time. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to give you guys some time. Okay, so it's only horror filmmaker. Why? Why horror filmmaker, Pete?
Well, that's what I am. I'm a disabled filmmaker, and I make horror. So I guess that's what I'd want to show up under if people were looking for somebody who makes horror films. But I'm also a disabled horror filmmaker, so I struggled with that if I wanted to show up as a disabled filmmaker or a horror filmmaker.
Huh. Okay. Now, this is very specific. Thanks for that context. Now, in your industry, in your practice, what do you normally see more often? Do people ask, what kind of questions do they ask you as well? What happens?
Well, people ask what I do, right? And I produce films and I write films. And then they ask what genre I work in, and I work in horror.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're gonna try this out. We're gonna try this out and see what we get from here as well. Okay. So I'm gonna type in on the advanced search, there's a section that says find pages with, and then I'll just list them out for us so that at least we have everything together. So when you're using advanced search, because I'm going to use your example as horror filmmaker for sure, this is what I'm going to see. Oh, this is exciting. Okay. So under find pages with, right, you will see where it says all these words, this exact word or phrase, any of these words, none of these words, numbers ranging from X to Y. So how you're going to do that is like pretty much understand that if you're using search, right? If you're using search, then this search has to be used in a way that when you're going to hit the advanced search blue button, it means that you've really understood the value of what you're about to bring in, for your business when you're looking online, right? So when you're also using advanced search, you also want to narrow your results. You can narrow it by language, by region. You can do it by last update, by site or domain, meaning that let's say you're looking for a site or a domain. That is where, let's say you're looking for, actually, let's do it this way. P, what is a website that you know of that's a horror film website that you're aware of, or your competitor that I can look up?
Oh, a competitor. I do not know. There are real horror production companies, that obviously are not my competitor, but that's, what they do. But yeah, I don't know of who would be a competitor. You have to give me a second.
Okay. All right. So as I'm giving you that, and you can be anything, any website you know of that does that, like a production company. Like for you, since you're a horror filmmaker, do you have your own website that people come to sign up and connect with you or book?
Not yet. I have one, but it's not live. I own my domain. So somebody I would like to be like, there's a production company called Divide and Conquer.
Divide and Conquer. Okay, let me see. Divide and Conquer. Is it like it's a film site? It's a film production.
Correct. It's a film production company, and they have like a real website. Yeah, they're a small independent film company.
Okay,
but they're like who I'd like to be. They're much bigger than I am.
I see. So it's like divideconquer.us. That's what I just noticed. I think, yeah, it's like they have different films, right?
Correct.
On there. Okay, perfect. So I think we're on the same page. So I'm going to use that example as a test, and I'll put that domain in this section here. So for those who are looking for what link I'm talking about, there's a link, and welcome and good to have you here. Thanks for joining. If you look at the chat, you'll see I put the link to google.com/advanced_search. That's the name. So for UP, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it wide open, but I'm going to only add the words horror filmmaker, right? And I'm going to put that under that section that says this exact word or phrase. Because when you're finding pages on Google, right, most times when people are searching, they're just typing away, right? But when you're typing, you need to type with a prompt. You know how everybody's prompting GPT now, Chat GPT? That's the same way you need to prompt Google to get the right results. But some people don't know how to get to those results. So when you look at the link I sent you in the chat, when you look at the first one that says find pages with all these words, that means that when people are typing, they're just typing like we all type here on Google, horror filmmaker. Someone can type that on Google, and I'll actually do it myself so that we can actually, before I go into the advanced. So horror film maker. So what I even noticed just by typing alone, I noticed that Google doesn't even, it doesn't stop there. It gives you even more context, because I've typed in horror filmmaker, and then right in there, it tells me horror filmmakers, horror filmmaker Roth crossword. I don't know who that is. It's probably popular. Horror filmmakers Eli, horror movie filmmakers, horror movie checklist, horror movie structure, horror filming techniques, and then film horror 2017. So out of these ones, especially the ones I'm seeing, checklist, structure, techniques, are you looking to teach people, or are you doing it for them? Like, because I want to know which angle you're coming from, so that we're not getting the context out of,
Oh God, I make films, so I guess so it would be, yeah, I'm a horror filmmaker. So I have a small production company. So again, that's one of the things that's so awesome about this is I have a girl who does this stuff for me, and I'm going to share your Work Smart workshop with her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, when she joins, I'll definitely let you know, and I'll be definitely happy to connect with her, give her all the tools, tricks, tips, and, help you as well, because we want to save time in 2024, and we can. It's possible, but we don't just know the formula, but this is definitely a good way to go. So thanks for that. I love that you have a film production company just focusing on that. So filmmakers, I clicked on horror filmmakers. So I hit the enter button, and all I see are popular movies, because that's what people are going to look for. Popular movies. When people type in horror filmmaker on Google, that's what they're looking for. Now, when I'm looking at these results, I'm like, okay, people are typing in the best horror film directors, who are the directors that, did this or that movie. Top 10, the best. So all I know from this link alone is already telling me that horror filmmakers, when you think about the key phrase horror filmmakers, that's just like you're prompting the Google search to tell you that you have information about something that you're looking for. If I add horror filmmakers checklist, I'm not going to get a list of movies. So when I go to the advanced search section and I type in the same thing, horror filmmakers, under this exact word phrase, and I'm also using divide conquer US, I just hit the advanced search. All right. So what do I have here? Interesting. So the word horror filmmakers doesn't even match with divide and conquer, because they don't even have that on their phrasing, which is interesting, right? So if I take it off and I hit that search again, there we go. So now as soon as I typed horror filmmakers, what it has happened is when I hit advanced search, it turns from just being a full text to having a quoted text, right? Because when you have quoted text in your search box, and I'll dive deeper into that in another room, when you have quoted text, when you put that into your search box, you're simply telling the algorithm that I don't want anything outside these words, because when you type in a word that's open-ended, it's broad. But when you use the quotation marks, those quotation marks specifically tell you what you're looking for. So now under the search labs, the AI overview, you get here, there's horror filmmakers, there's Sam Raimi, there's Wes Craven, there's Dario, David, George Romero, Jordan Peele, James Whale, Rob Zombie, and Alfred Hitchcock. You see all the names there. And then the next thing right after that is you're seeing articles from 2023, the top 13 masters of horror, IMDb, 20 notable Black directors and filmmakers, Frankenstein, 1931. You start to see all these things, right? So if I was now working with your company, P, and we're building a structure for your website, for your brand online, this specific word, I will leverage highly leverage this overview information that I just got. Why? Because if every time I type in horror filmmakers, these people keep showing up, then I need to have a market share. I need to have a percentage of the market share of that company into my base. So what I'll do is I'll create an article, and those articles will be talking about, here are some influential horror filmmakers we have in our time. Here are the top 10, right? What makes a horror filmmaker different from a comedy filmmaker? Horror films versus, sci-fi. When does it become a horror film? What are the best out there? Where are we going? So we're adding more context to this topic, which eventually allows more people to feel more connected. That way, by the time they're done reading and they're looking at your website, you have all these things on your website, and that also shows up as a result. So by the time they're reading their information, because people are going online to look for information. So when they find the information, they'll now say, okay, we found it. But now imagine if you find the information and then you bump into a company that actually does what you're searching for. Then you actually open up the door for conversation and say, hey, leave your contact information, book a call with us, or inquire, are you looking for this? And then I would go into horror filmmaking services or horror filmmaking services, or even filmmaking productions. That way we can go into the services section and turn that into a commercial search. So using advanced search allows you to really find what's really going on here. And one thing I noticed out of all these things, and P, this is going to be very interesting for you. I noticed that out of all these names that I see, there's no woman that is on the list. I mean, I haven't seen any on Google. So that tells me that for you, when I look at the top here, that means that there's a low-hanging fruit, right? And that low-hanging fruit is told at the very top. You know where you see those little bubbles on Google, where under all, you'll see like little blocks of text. In there, it says list, female, top, famous, Wes Craven movies, directors that are Indian. Like we can even go into like Bollywood horror, Nollywood horror, Hollywood horror. Like we can literally go all the way down to the point where we've mastered all the concepts. Now, when I see the section that says list, female, and top, that tells me that if we're looking for horror filmmakers that are women, I don't see any that are out here. But I look at Rotten Tomatoes and it tells me that, there are people they're women who have directed some movies. But if that's your niche, the first question that Google is asking, are there any female horror directors? And the only person that is responding to that question is Rotten Tomatoes. So for you, for your niche, I would now come to your website, build content pieces and pillars around these people also ask questions, and then include your name, P, as the person that people can connect with. What do you think?
Oh, this is all just awesome. This is awesome. This is just everything I need to know. Because again, I'm just getting started. And and at a point I need a lot of information. And I have to present a professional front, and that's not just a lookbook. It's a professional website and all that other kind of fun crap. So yes, thank you very much. Because again, if you want people to give you money, you have to look like you already have money. And you need to be up there, because my husband comes from the startup tech industry. And that's just kind of the hard part, is putting together a team where everybody has all the bases covered and you can, step out and say, okay, we got this. So thank you very much. Because again, this social media is a huge part of this and it's all way over my head.
You're most welcome. No, this was definitely good. And I know it can get a little technical. That's why we're here to help. I put my link P in the chat, which is my digital business card. So that link in the very last link is my digital business card. So once you hit on that link, you'll be able to leave your contact with me. I would love to connect with you, get on a call, even if it's from the masterclass all the way into working with you at some point this year. At least solidify that would be good, and we can build that from there. Your website you mentioned, is somebody building it? Are they using SEO? What's the roadmap and the plan for your business as far as like the next few months?
Well, I'm producing a short film. I'm almost done. And I was just blessed to have my friends who are actual, real grown-up filmmakers, who like get paid to do it, show up to help me. And I just, yeah, we're almost done with that. It's a short, but it's a horror comedy. And my pitch that I'm about to put out is for a straight thriller and a straight horror. So I need to get another horror short done. And then I think I will have enough to actually make my website live, because I need real things to put out there, not just, ooh, I think this and I think that. There's so many fake people in the film industry that I just really want to be real when I go out. So I'm trying to get another production done before I, pull out the stops on my website and stuff. And yeah, I have a friend who has a business who does that. And believe it or not, oh my God, in the olden days, you just threw up a website. But there are all these laws and rules and all that other fun kind of mess. So you have to have somebody who understands the legalities, not just the technicalities of running a public website. So yeah, I have a girlfriend who's doing that for me.
That's amazing. Okay. No, I'm happy to hear that, because, once you have someone that's helping you in those areas, it's easier to understand, and you have like a right-hand man or a right-hand woman to give you all those. And then I could now come with the icing on the cake and then put the SEO in, all the structures and everything. And then, we have a great site, and we have an operating site. So I'm glad that you gave me this insight. I've just seen your card. Thanks for connecting with me. P, how's your day looking if I wanted to give you a call later today, if that's okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay. Fridays are crazy because I have an update meet with my team in the afternoon. But after 2 Pacific time, things slow down. So yeah. Give me a buzz. And because when I get going, when I get out there, you're my man. Because again, I know that I'm over my head, and you have to have professionals in all of these. There's a reason that the studios are enormous. It's because to make any kind of real business, you have to have people who are dedicated to each portion of it. So I do have a girlfriend I'm bringing in who's her background is in marketing. So I'm hoping to pull her over and have her give us some direction. But again, I'm gonna need help.
Definitely. Okay. I'm looking forward to the connection. I will call you at 2 p.m. Pacific. That's my 4 p.m. Central. I'm in Houston. So if you're in Pacific, I'm sure you're probably like West, maybe Cali. I think it says Cali. You're in Cali. You're in Los Angeles. Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, I will give you a call, and then we'll talk from there. And I'm excited that at least we kick this off. At least you could see it and, hear how it works. And then from there, we can now formulate and build up the structure and the layers from there. I'm excited, Pete. Thanks for joining today.
Oh no, thanks again for all that you do. It's so overwhelming, and it's a very dynamic. Marketing is a very dynamic field. And, it's just popping in and being, having a social media site or begging other people with popular social media sites doesn't cut it anymore. You need some expertise. So again, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, anytime. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, this is so good. Thank you so much, Pete. And thank you again, Vivian, Guns, Vichy. Good to see you. Orkan, love that you guys are here. Guns and Orkan, we usually have rooms here. So this is a marketing club, because I see you got your tickets on, which means you probably found this room in your hallway. So you are welcome to this space. We always have rooms here on a weekly basis. So make sure before you leave today's room, click the very top where you can hit the marketing club, and that will allow you to get access to this club. It's an open free club. And then when you have rooms like this, you can listen to replays. We have them consistently. So I'll be creating a schedule from next week so that people can start planning ahead and being here, because my schedule goes crazy. That's why today this meeting was supposed to start at the top of the hour, but it's stretched out till 45 minutes after. So I apologize for that. It's crazy. So Clubhouse is clubhousing, life is lifing. But I said, hey, I'd rather show up than not show up at all. So I wanted to at least create that schedule in advance so that you guys can be here and then we can connect from there. So thanks again, and click the link above if you want to join this masterclass. It will help you a lot. Like the things that you'll be seeing in there, you'll be like, whoa, I don't talk about them on Clubhouse because those are things that you pay for as clients, but I'm going to show you how to work it. And then from there, you can start connecting those dots as a business, because that's what's going to give you that empowerment and that also saving time factor too. So this is how to use Google Advanced Search like a pro. And you've learned how to use it. If you want to learn how to use it more, just go to google.com/advanced_search. When you do that, you have access to that section, play around with it to see the results you get. And then you now factor in how do you get to that result as a business. And that's where I come in. That's where we're able to work together. So have a blessed day, everyone, and enjoy your Friday. God bless you all. And I'm going to see you all soon.
Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11 and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, We Don't Play podcast show is where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those 4, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you.